Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubrali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Canada's inflation rate slows to 7.6% in July as gas prices fall. COVID-19 vaccine side effects less likely in pregnant people, says study. 1 in 4 border officers witnessed discrimination by colleagues, internal report. Stephen Del Duca running to become mayor of Vaughan. CMHC reports annual pace of housing starts up 1.1% in July. Police investigating after shots fired near elementary school in Toronto. Traveler disheartened to see mountains of bags and lines back at Toronto Pearson.
Those were the headlines, and let's jump right into the details.
Year-over-year inflation rate slowed to 7.6% in July, with the deceleration largely driven by a decline in gas prices. A nearly 40-year high of 8.1% in June, but economists were widely expecting inflation to have since slowed. In its latest Consumer Price Index report, Statistics Canada said the rise in prices in July was the smallest monthly gain since December 2021. It also marks the first decline in year-over-year inflation since June 2020. The federal agency said gas prices rose 35.6% year-over-year in July compared with 54.6% in June, as mortgage costs increase with higher interest rates. The report notes rent prices are accelerating, rising faster in July than the previous month. As countries around the world struggle with skyrocketing prices, there are some signs inflation is beginning to ease, with the US seeing its inflation rate decline in July as well. Still, inflation is well above the Bank of Canada's 2% target. Pregnant people experience lower rates of side effects from the COVID-19 vaccine than their counterparts who weren't pregnant, a new Canadian study suggests. Canadian National Vaccine Safety Network collected data from 191,360 vaccinated women aged 15 to 49 between December 2020 and November 2021. The researchers asked participants to report significant health events that were serious enough to make them miss school or work, seek medical attention, or disrupt their routines. 5,497 pregnant participants, 4% reported a significant health event within 7 days of receiving their first dose of an mRNA vaccine, and 7.3% of 3,108 pregnant respondents said they had side effects from their second shots. Things that was really striking was that the rates of these events happening in pregnant people was lower than the rates happening in non-pregnant people at the same age, said Manish Sadarangani, lead author of the paper published in the Lancet Infectious Disease Journal on Thursday. It's very reassuring around the safety of COVID vaccine and pregnancy. People are at increased risk of COVID-19 complications, he said, so it's all the more important that researchers continue to study how vaccination affects them and their babies. 1/4 of frontline employees surveyed of Canada's border agency said they had directly witnessed a colleague discriminate against a traveler in the previous 2 years. Of these respondents, 71% suggested the discrimination was based in full or in part on the traveler's race, and just over 3/4 cited their national or ethnic origin. Figures are drawn from a survey conducted as part of an internal Canada Border Services Agency evaluation that looked at how the agency processed travelers using lens of gender, race, ethnicity, religion, age, and mental or physical disability, and the interaction between these factors. The agency recently posted the results of the evaluation, which focused primarily on people flying into Canada, on its website. As part of the research, 922 border services officers and superintendents were surveyed from March 2nd to March 22nd, 2020. The evaluation makes several recommendations, including a call to develop and implement a plan to improve the awareness and reporting of mistreatment and discrimination of travelers witnessed by border agency personnel without fear of reprisal. Stephen Del Duca is running to become the next mayor of Vaughan. The former Ontario Liberal Party leader made the announcement Tuesday morning and pledged to focus on fighting traffic gridlock in the city. Well, first of all, I spent the last couple of months with family and close friends reflecting on what took place in June. It was a humbling experience, there's no doubt about that, but I'm passionate about public service again, Del Duca told CP24 Tuesday morning. Duka stepped down as the Liberals' party leader in June immediately following his crushing loss in the provincial election. 49-year-old ran for a seat in Vaughan Woodbridge, but lost it to incumbent PC candidate Michael Tibolo, who also bet Del Duca in the same riding in 2018. Duca was first elected to provincial office in 2012 and served as Transportation and Economic Development Minister in the Kathleen Wynne government between 2014 and 2018. Then became leader of the party in 2020 after Wynne stepped down following her defeat in the 2018 provincial election. Del Duca says his experience as transportation minister gives him an advantage to fight the traffic gridlock crisis in Vaughan. Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation says the annual pace of housing starts in July edged higher compared with June despite a slowdown in urban starts. The housing agency says the seasonally adjusted annual rate of housing starts in July was 275,329 units, an increase of 1.1% from June. The annual rate of urban starts was down 0.8% at 254,371 units in July, while multi-unit urban starts fell 0.3% to 195,987 units. Pace of single detached urban starts dropped 2.3% to 58,384 units. Meanwhile, rural starts were estimated at a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 20,958 units. Sixth month moving average of the monthly seasonally adjusted annual rates was 264,426 units in July, up from 257,862 in June. Police are investigating after multiple shots were fired near the elementary school in Toronto overnight. Officers responded to reports of multiple gunshots heard near 53 Silverstone Drive in the area of Kipling and Finch Avenues. Police located several casings in the area and a vehicle damaged by gunfire. Stray bullets also hit a nearby elementary school. No victims were located. Toronto Pearson International Airport has shown signs of improvements in recent weeks, but a traveler and aviation expert says he was disheartened to see mountains of bags and triple-stacked security lines at the airport over the weekend. What this is telling us is the information that Transport Canada has been touting about how much better things are getting. Things are not getting better, Robert Cockney, president of Air Travel, a global aviation consulting firm, told CTV News, Toronto. On Sunday night, Cockney said he flew from Halifax to Toronto. When he arrived at Terminal 1's baggage claim, he saw hundreds of bags, strollers, and walkers lining the floor. He also took a look at the domestic security line, which he said was 70 meters long. A few weeks earlier, the president of the Greater Toronto Airports Authority, which oversees operations at Pearson, announced that the travel hub had seen measurable operational improvements in the recent weeks. However, Cockney said it was clear to him while he was at the airport that the chronic issues this summer have not been resolved.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.